Hello and welcome to this tutorial. To create a multi-currency bank account, you need the multi-currency module, and you need to set up the currency under Common Maintenance. So I'll proceed and set up a US dollar account. Because the dollar symbol is so universal, I like to differentiate it slightly. I'll call this US dollar, which will help differentiate it from my home currency, which also has a dollar symbol. Here's also an option of how you are prompted for new rates. So let's go in and put in an exchange rate. Here in the exchange rate window, we can see we've got our home currency signified with the dollar symbol, and to the right US dollars, making it easier to follow which dollar is which. The next step is to set up a US dollar bank account. So let's go to General Ledger Maintenance Accounts and create it. So I'm calling it simply US dollar account, and the account type is bank. Clicking on the inventory and other tab above, I can now go and set up some details about my currency and the default accounts there. I have already created accounts for the revaluation profit and the revaluation loss account, and you should note that there's a designated account type for revaluation profit and loss. Finer aspects are covered in the Evolution Help section. You may want to revalue your foreign bank account on a periodic basis, typically at month or year end. During the month I've posted some foreign currency cashbook batches. When posting to a foreign currency bank account, check the batch properties. Under Integration, check that you have the correct bank account, and under the batch defaults, check that your currency is correct as well. Here in my cashbook batch, I've already entered some transactions, namely 1,000 US dollars, and based on the exchange rate it's set up, that converts to 1,191 home currency dollars. By clicking on the exchange rate, I can view the exchange rate table. Here I can enter the spot rate for the day, or I can manipulate this table as required. Here I've jumped to a new transaction, and it's dated the 21st of the month, but my last rate update was on the 14th, so it's choosing the date closest to the 21st. Let's assume my exchange rate has done a while jump to 1.5, and I may also want to set this for the rest of the month as well. So going back to our batch, we can see the exchange rate has changed, and so has the home currency amount. So proceed to verify and post the batch, and then we'll go and look at the batch balances. Select the foreign bank account and then click on View, and check the home currency balances, scrolling down and also looking at the foreign balances. At period or year end, you may want to revalue your foreign bank account. To do this, there are several steps. The first would be to create a General Ledger journal, which works as a repository for the revaluation utility. The rule is you must create a separate General Ledger journal batch to do this. Rename the batch appropriately and select foreign currency revaluation as the batch type. While I'm here, let's quickly look at the batch detail tab. Here's a new little feature, the last process date, that's been added to the new version. Now save and close the batch without any transactions. The next step is to use the foreign bank account revaluation utility, which you can find under General Ledger Transactions. Here you may be prompted to do a General Ledger relink. In the revaluation screen, set the appropriate dates. This is usually a month-end date or year-end date, and then select the revaluation journal batch that has just been created. And then click on View to populate the grid below. In this case we've selected all banks. We only have one. If we had more banks, they would also appear in the grid. Now enter the new exchange rate for the period or the year end. Then tab along and you will see a new home currency balance and the revaluation amount, which I can change and see the new result as I tab along. If I'm satisfied, I can now click on Process, and this will populate the General Ledger journal that I've created and nominated in the screen. And at this point I can go and print all the revaluation information. Having done this, I click Yes to confirm the revaluation, which will proceed to populate the General Ledger batch we created earlier. Here I'm opening the General Ledger batch to have a look at the transactions that have been created by the revaluation utility, and here we can see the amounts as reflected there, being an exchange gain of about $1,500. All being correct, verify and post the batch into General Ledger. I hope that was easy enough. In summary, here is a quick review of the steps we took to create a foreign bank account and how to do revaluations. Thank you for your time and thank you for watching.